I have Danny Daly here with me, strategy coach for the AFL Lions. Now, Danny, it was a disappointing 16-point loss on the weekend in Ballarat. What did that come down to?
I think we started the game off pretty well. Our first quarter and a half was really encouraging. We had a lot of football, but we got it inside 50 quite a lot, but we just couldn't finish off our work in front of goals. Quite a lot of missed opportunities, which we spoke to the players about after the game and in our reviews. So I suppose one thing in footy is when you've got momentum and you're getting the ball in your forward half, you need to take the opportunities, otherwise it can come back to haunt you, which it did on the weekend, unfortunately.
And focusing on that, putting Harris in the forward line, was that an attempt to change that?
I think once we got with about 10-15 minutes to go and we had to win the game, we thought it was a good idea just to throw him forward and hopefully take a few marks down there and swing D-Mac back into defence. Something we've trained over the pre-season. Obviously played Harris down forward a little bit, so we thought we'd give it a go. Unfortunately, the ball sort of didn't come his way too much in the last 5 or 10 minutes, but these are the things sometimes you just got to throw up in footy and hopefully you can pinch a goal or two through it. And D-Mac was pretty good when he went back as well, so that worked well for us, but that's something we look at doing late in games if we need to, yeah.
So it won't be to be a starter anytime soon?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I think Harris has been going pretty well down back, and D-Mac, to his credit, has had a fairly good season so far, so it's just one of those things late in the game which we thought we'd try and as I said, try and get a goal or two and swing the momentum back our way.
And another impressive play on the weekend was Hugh McCluggage at his old home ground. He had 14 disposals in the first term, ended with 26. Was he a standout on the day?
Oh, I think he was. I think the first quarter he handled the conditions better than anyone else on the field, to be honest. He was clean, he didn't fumble, and he showed that he's having an outstanding year so far and the type of player he is. So they put a bit of work into him after that, obviously, and for him to still have 26 and kick a couple of goals, we thought he was a little bit unlucky in a couple of instances where he probably could have got another couple of goals through free kicks. But yeah, no doubt between him and Zorks are probably our two best players on the day. And again, it was good for him to be able to go home and show what he can do. Yeah, he's been a really good player for us this year.
And as you said, in the first quarter and throughout, it was a bit slippery out there. Did that affect your game in any way? I'm
not too sure it had an effect on the result, but it certainly had an effect on some of the plays. And when you've got conditions like that where it's slippery, it's all about taking territory, and a lot of our players were slipping over through probably not wearing the right boots and not being used to playing in those conditions. So in some way or form it had an effect on us. Whether it cost us a game, I'm not 100% sure of, but it's certainly something we spoke to our players about in terms of when we come up with conditions like that they need to make sure they've got the proper footwear on, and it's a tool of their trade, so there's always learnings from a loss, and that was one of them as well.
Now the conditions will be hopefully in our favour this weekend when we take on the Adelaide Crows on Saturday. What has been our focus to get up on them?
Well, they've been obviously going really well in the last 4 weeks. They're equal with us on the number of wins and losses, so it's going to be a fairly good contest. We both play a similar brand of football, so end of the day it all comes down to the contested ball and who wins that and can take territory from that. So that's probably our biggest focus, and it'd be good to get back home and in some sunshine, and hopefully we get a lot of supporters and a lot of our members come to the game and can get behind the boys, because it certainly makes an enormous amount of difference for us when we play, and it should be a good contest.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks for having me.